Yeah, so let's get a setup of what are we planning on doing today? So it's a bit different from my usual streams. So if you want to catch me on doing any gaming stuff, that I will be doing on twitch.tv/izBUDDYiz. But I will also be doing more streams, hopefully, on YouTube, so long as everybody likes them. And for YouTube, basically what you should expect them to be more about helping you improve your stream, weird and cool things that I do on my stream, like adding memes, adding cool effects like the Super Saiyan transformation, and what we're going to be doing today, which is the Pokedex. So I already have a bunch of code for Pokedex to work on my stream specifically, but this this stream will mostly be focusing on how we could set it up so that you all could do this as well. So that is the plan for today. Hold on one second. My first time on YouTube streaming, so have to do a few more things than I normally do. Okay. There we go. I think we are all set up now. All right. So, like I said, that's the plan for today. We're going to be focusing on making a brand new creation from scratch. So, let's go ahead and get started. This hopefully okay, good. We're going to just open up a PowerShell terminal. You can see I got Vegeta in the background. For those who don't know, we love Super Saiyan, or we love Dragon Ball Z and Vegeta in particular. So I am going to be going to a different directory real quick. Hold on one second. Documents and Python apps. Okay. Let's see what we have. Okay, this is fine. So we're going to make a new directory. Make dir. So this is just a new folder on our computer. So we're going to make a new one called the Pokedex. Okay, and now to give you a sense what is happening and why I can't just share what I have set up for my stream is I have it set up using a particular language called Python. And your computer may or may not have Python installed, but even if it did, it might not have the same version of Python as me. It might not have the same like add-ons that I have and all this stuff. So it's not particularly a good idea to for me to just share this code unless you really know what you're doing in terms of this coding language. So instead, normally if you have, let's say like let's say a game like Fortnite, right? So we can right click, go to properties. This is a shortcut. Actually this is not a great example. Let's go to an app instead. We're gonna go to like Discord properties. So this is a shortcut for the Discord app, and it's saying, oh, right here on my computer under users, buddy, app data, local, blah, 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 we have this discord.exe file. And so the shortcut, all it's doing is it's automatically running discord.exe. And you all know what a .exe file is. It's just like some app on your phone, or sorry, some app on your computer that you can use and do whatever you want. So what we're going to do is we are going to rewrite the code so we can create a .exe file. So that way anyone who wants to, they can go on and make their own Pokedex. They could just download all the thing that I have and it'll instantly be an exe file on their computer and then they can have fun with it. So that is the plan. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we made our new folder. We have a folder called Pokedex. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to be using a program called Visual Code Studio, and this is where most of the setup is going to happen. So in here, we're going to make first a new file called main.py. And then, oh wait, hold on. If main, there we go. So this is just some what's called boilerplate code, which is, you don't have to worry about it. All you need to know is that we are going to, if we run this file, just if I use this file in the terminal like we were just using, it's just going to run it automatically. We don't have to do any extra steps. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is just give you a basic sense of what's happening here. We can do print hello world, and what this will do is if we go back, actually we can do it here. You can open a new terminal. I'm going to change my Python and conda deactivate, conda activate Pokedex. There we go. So now if I ran this file by typing python main.py, you'll see, oh, whoops. I did, sorry, F main and this. Okay, so if I ran this, you'll see it tells me hello world. So I can have in this print section, I can say hello world, and I can say, oh, in response, buddy says hi back. Excellent. So then now again, if I ran it, ta-da, hello world, buddy says hi back. Okay, so this is very, very introductory setup of how this stuff works. So we're basically typing commands that tell the computer to do something. So the basic one is print, and we're going to be expanding on that to do a bunch of other cool stuff. So the first thing that we're going to do is I actually have, hold on 1 second. I need to remind myself. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we're going to copy a file that I had made beforehand. This is this file like sets up all of the Pokedex entry stuff. So this is in another folder. We're gonna go back, and then it's in there. One second. Interesting. Sure. Okay. So we're going to copy in here, and then there's a Pokedex. Wait, that's what I'm doing wrong. Okay, hold on. Let's do. Excellent. Now, we're going to get a list. What we need is this Pokedex list. So we're going to copy Pokedex list, and we are going to place it here. I need to specify the name. Pokedex. This, and then Pokedex list. What? Hold on. Window. Huh. That's weird. Let's do this. Pokedex list.py. And then that's weird. All right, we could do it the slow GUI way. That's fine. We're gonna just copy this file, move it here, And now we're going to have it. It shows up right in here in our VS Code. So this and then Pokedex. Oh, I know what the problem was. This is using command instead of PowerShell. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. So this is a file. What it's going to do is it's going to load as a data file. It's going to have all of the data for all the Pokedex entries. So that's what we're going to do next. So we go here, we're going to type Python and Pokedex list. And then what you should see is now we have two files here. So they look, you open up just like in Excel or whatever. And what you can see is if we open this up, on open, let's move this so you can see. So you'll see it's just a list of all of the names of every single Pokemon right here. And it's structured so it doesn't have any duplicates or anything like that. It's just the actual Pokemon. And sometimes it has the different forms, but that's fine. We don't have to worry too much about that. So now that we have that as the first step, next thing is we're going to want to figure out how to make some uses out of this. So what we're going to do is we need to load in that file. So what we can do is you can say import Pokedex list as deck. And then the first thing we're going to do is we are going to load deck.load, which loads this entry. Okay. And then actually what we'll do is let's make sure we know how this works. This is just going to return perfect. And then we are going to save this as Pokedex names. Now we have Pokedex names, and then we're going to print Pokedex names. Okay, so what this will do, it'll look very busy down here, but it's going to print all of the names that we just had in this area. Definitely did that. Toadsmagoats did that. Hold on one second. Why print? This is actually useful because you can see how I troubleshoot things. So first thing I'll do is I'll put a print statement to help me diagnose. Okay, where is the problem going wrong? I didn't get an error. So let's see. What is it doing exactly? Oh, I know what it's doing. It's because I have the wrong command. Python, and we want main. And then there you go. You see it prints a list and does ... because it's not going to show every single one because that would take way too much space right here. So it's just going to show the first couple and the last one. So again, we have all the information we need, and that's a great start. And then it says after, because that's after it's printed. So we can get rid of both of these now. All right. So we were able to get all of the Pokedex information in. Now, what we really need to do is we need to structure our app and figure out how we are going to create it. So let me open up Paint to give you a sense of like what I had envisioned. So we have, and then let's do, this is fine. So we have, I created a mockup, and I'm just going to show you more or less what it will look like. So the opening page I structured, I thought it would be pretty easy to make something like this. We have the standard app, and then we just have a line straight down the middle. And then what we're going to have is it's going to say right here, hold on, let me make this a lot thinner. Sure. Oh, wait, hold on. oops, I need this to be, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna say Pokemon right here. Pokemon. Okay, and then we're gonna have a box like this for you to type in whatever you want to type. So you'll type in the name of Pokemon. So we'll say Mew, right? And then what'll happen is there will be another box right here. This box will be this entire list of all the Pokemon that we have. And then, so I'll just have little lines to represent every single Pokemon, right? And then as you type in here, what I want to have happen is I want these lines, I want them to correspond to whatever you're typing. So if you type M, it'll pull up everything that has an M in it. If you type ME, then it'll be everything that has ME in it. So if you type Mew, you should expect to see Mew and Mewtwo, for example, right? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to move this off to the side again. Actually, hold on. Better yet, let's just minimize it. And then we need to work on doing this. So there's a simple way to create an app in Python, and it's nice because it's pretty simple to set up. But one of the problems is these apps don't look very pretty. So my plan is if it ends up being very quick, we're going to do it this way. Or sorry, to speed things up, we're going to be doing it this way. But then later on, over the next couple of weeks, when I have time, I'll just go in and make it pretty again. So that's the plan. So you'll get the actual code later when I have time to fix everything. But the way we're going to do is we're going to use this this module, right? It says module right there. Module called PySimpleGUI, and we can just shorten it by saying SG, so Simple GUI. Okay, and then the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to, because of course my favorite color is purple, so we're going to set up my theme. So our theme is going to be purple, and then we're going to just do some very basic stuff. So we're just going to literally just open up the GUI and just make sure everything works and not do anything extra yet, and then we'll do the other steps afterwards. So what we're going to do is there's a main a window command, and this sets up the window. All right, and then in fact, hold on, what I'll do, just so you can see some of the documentation. So we'll go here. I was doing this from memory, but I think it'll be helpful for everybody if we do it this way. So we have PySimpleGUI getting started, something like that. And here's the documentation. PySimpleGUI. Okay, so here's a very basic layout, and then this one will just have a singular button, right? So we'll just copy this to show you. Actually, no, we won't copy it directly, because then I can just show you the parts that we need. So we have a window, which we already have access to. So if you look at our window is called image viewer. So let's rename that. This was from a different project. So we will call it Pokedex. So let me get the right E accent. I always forget the shortcut to make the accented E, so I literally just type accented E in Google every time and just copy paste, because I'm way too lazy to remember. So we'll say right here, Pokedex. There we go. And then the subtitle, Ketchum. Ketchum all. Right. Gotta catch them all. There we go. So then, congratulations on your first stream on YouTube. Thank you very much, Yano. How are you doing, my friend? Hopefully you're having a good one. So yeah, as you can see, we're doing some coding right now. If everything goes according to plan, by the end of this, we'll have the Pokedex as an app that you can just run on your computer at any time. So hopefully that sounds interesting to you and you'll stick around and hang out. Okay. So we have that's step 1. This is the layout section. We haven't made a layout, so let's go ahead and go back here so we can see there's a layout. Here's just a very simple basic layout. It's just one piece of text and a button. So this piece of text will go through and say hello from PySimpleGUI, and then the button will say okay. The button won't even do anything. Oh no, actually, you see here it says if you press the button, then it'll end the program. So let's do that. We have the layout right here, and then finally we'll grab this stuff. So this stuff, make this create the window. I'm working while working. I assume you mean working while lurking. It feels weird not to have mod view. LOL. I don't know how mods work in YouTube 13, but we should definitely check that out later. That does sound interesting. Well, I'm glad. I am glad. So we have our layout. This is what we're going to see on the GUI. This is going to be the name that people see at the top. So like in here, it'll be like up here. And then we're going to let them resize it, etc. Okay. So that's the basic step. And then, like I said earlier, we're just going to copy this part. All this is going to do is going to say, okay, the window has been created. Once it's ready, then just show the screen. And then if they press OK, aka if they press the button, then I want you to close the screen. And then otherwise, if they close it on their own, just close the screen. So that's how this works. So we're going to like just like this. Oops. And then I'm going to shift everything over. This was a mistake. Let's do that. There we go. So now what will happen is if I run this code, we should see just like this. Excellent. So we have a very tiny GUI. It's very hard to, there we go. Now I can adjust it better. So what you'll see is we have Pokedex, gotta catch them all, right? That is the title that we created right here. And then it just says hello, and then there's a button. And if we click this button, it'll end the program. Excellent. So that's the most basic setup that we can create. And now what our goal is to make this way, way, way cooler. So first off, we don't need to print the names anymore. So we're going to close that. It does have mods. I just don't know how to set them up. Okay, that's good to know. So we'll set this up at a later date. All right, so the thing that we're going to do is we need to first rearrange the layout. And we want the layout to have all of those names. So the Pokedex names, that's what we want. Okay, so in order to do that, what we're going to do is, remember I said, let's go here. What is this? That's fine. So remember I said we're going to have Pokemon. So we're going to have a text section, and then we're going to have what's called an input. And then we'll do that a list box at the end. So those are our 3 options. We have text, input, list. All right. So we're going to, right now, it'll just take up the whole thing. Actually, we can keep the text because the text is going to be the same basically. Never mind, figured it out, but can set up later. Okay, if it's quick, I can do it right now. If it is quick. So we're going to just copy this and say Pokemon. There we go. And then remember, let's go back here. We're going to have Pokemon as the big text, and then right next to it, we're going to have the inbox, right? So this is what's called, hold on, let me get my notes. It's called SG, and then capital N. That's what I was confirming. Okay, capital N. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say the size. So the size is 30 pixels across, and then 1 pixel high, or not pixels, this is like units, sorry. And then we're going to enable events, which just means that it will note if they type anything in here. That's all that means. So we're going to say enable events. Yes, we're going to do that. And then finally, we're going to say set a key. And the key, what this is going to do is going to make it so when they do make changes to this, we're going to be able to access the changes by this key. So anytime this thing changes, we're going to be able to say, hey, get whatever is in here and continue. You go to YouTube Studio Settings, Community, and add my channel URL as a mod. Okay. Send me your channel URL as in a Discord DM, and then I'll do it right now. Okay. So this is going to have the text box as well as the text. So there's going to be a layout. Everything else is fine. The OK button no longer exists, so we can't. We don't want to do this, but it should probably run without problems. So let's just test it. Yeah, it did. Okay, so what we'll notice is it's on a different level. We actually want it on the same exact row. So in order to do that, we're just going to make a slight adjustment to our code. And that adjustment is going to be that we want to remove these guys. And so they're in the same list. So I just had too many brackets. So this is saying I want it on the same list. And then we will be able to make other things on another list if need be. Okay. So that is numero uno. Let's rerun this. Oh, wait. We didn't close this program. So let's close the program. We have access to our thing again. And now we are good. Excellent. Everything's coming together perfectly. All right. Thank you, 13. I have your URL. Copy link. Let me add this real quick. YouTube Studio community. Dashboard. Studio settings. Settings. That was the step I missed. Settings, moderators, paste, 13, save. Excellent. There you go. You should now have mod privileges. Okay. So we have Pokedex, gotta catch them all. And remember, this is by default, the PySimple GUI will only go as large as is absolutely necessary. So it's like here by default, which is why it cuts it off. But as we expand the app, it'll be bigger and bigger. So our theme is the purple dark theme. I should have pointed this out. So we have a lot of purple, and then our accent color is pink. This like pastel-y pink, and we can change that as we see fit. So that's a pretty cool feature. And there's a bunch of, we can either use one of the templates, which there are hundreds, or we can use just the, we can customize our own by default. So it'll work. There you go. Okay, so that's step one. We have our thing working, right? So we can have this, and we should be able to type in here. Excellent. So we're able to type, and it just keeps going indefinitely. The problem is that this isn't doing anything, right? Nothing happens when I type, right? So what we want to do is our next step, we go back to our instructions, right? We want to make this box that has everything in the box. So let's go do that. So first up, let's make a box. Remember, if we want it to be on a new line, like a new area. Thank you. We want it to be a new area. So what we're going to do is I'm going to reorganize this a bit. So we're going to say go. There we go. And then here. Second. Yeah, so we're going to go here, and then this is saying all of this is going to, oops, wrong space to enter. So all of this are the things on your one section, and then we're going to make a new one. And then this final thing will be here. Okay. So this new one is going to have other information. Remember, this is going to be our SG. It's called a list box, which is going to be a box that contains information. So we're going to have nice and organized code again. And then to start, it tells us, look, we have values. So values, and this values is going to be our Pokedex names. Right? Pokedex names, oops, like that. But we don't want, it's a bunch of columns by default. So we want to specifically only grab the names column. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make it a list, because that's what this is going to want, right? So we have a list, and then again, just like before, we're going to say enable events. There it is. Enable events is true. And then we need to set a size. So let's set size. We'll do, it needs to be the full thing, so it's bigger than 30, right? So we'll do 40 for now. And then how big tall, right? So we're gonna make it, let's do 20, and we'll get a sense of how big that is, and then we might need to adjust from there. And then we're going to do the key. That's the last thing. And this key is going to be called, let's do this as well. Okay, list. There we go. And then we're going to close the parentheses, do this. All right. So if we did everything correctly, we should be able to not have that. Excellent. So we have an error, which is fine. Today data frame has no attribute name. So what we're gonna do is open this. I spelled names, but it's on it so you all can see. So it's supposed to be name, but I put names. So that's the only problem. So let's do name, and that should fix it. Line 9. That's weird. List indices must be an integer slice, not list box. Ah, forgot a comma. Now it should be fixed. There we go. Wait, did you see that? Look at this. Oh, snap. We're making some progress, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. So we have Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wordle, Blastoise. And it's in the actual order of the game, right? This is the actual national order for each of the Pokemon. And that is sick, dude. That was so quick. It only took us like, let's see, what's the time? It took us like 40 minutes. And we have every single Pokemon from number 1 to, what are they? They're like 800 something, all the way to the final Pokemon. And then we go back, oops, let's go back to the top. Go back to the top. We could just select one and it highlights for us automatically. Okay, this is awesome. So now what you'll see is if we type in, let's say Pikachu, nothing's happening, right? So we can type in anything and nothing's happening. What we need to do is the next step is we need to make it so as we type in here, we want the Pokedex list, right? We want that to correspond to whatever we have, right? So that's going to be the next step. So let's close this and do the next step. Oh, I just showed everyone 13's URL to her channel. Oh, well, if you guys want to follow her, go ahead. You have the permission. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to edit our event loop. So this is called the event loop, the while loop. So this is just going to continuously go, right, until before it was structured to keep going until we hit OK, right, the OK button. Well, we don't have the OK button anymore, so this isn't going to work. We need to adjust this. So what we're going to do, we're going to have, it's going to do if one of two things happens. If the event loop OK button is hit, wow, free shameless plugs help, bro. If the OK button was pressed or if the window is closed. So we need to keep this part, right? This is going to stay, but we are going to change the first one, right? Because the OK button is no longer there. That is awesome. I'm glad you like it. I hope this is I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I think this is pretty fun for me, at least. This is the kind of stuff that I do all the time. And I do want to note how like readable, how almost like human, right? If some event happens, right? Or some other event happens, do stuff, right? That's what it's doing. And the stuff that's going to do is close the window. It's that simple. I like Python because it's so, it's basically like writing English. It's really awesome. Okay, so our thing that we're going to do is we want to know what they type in, right? And that's why we gave this key here. So we said, hey, key Pokemon, we want to say if the event that's happening is about that list or that typing that we did, then we're going to do some other stuff. Right now, we're not going to break, right? We're going to make it say, instead, if this happens, we're going to do some stuff. And then we're going to say, else, it's called, normally you would say else, like otherwise do this other stuff. But in this case, we're going to say not else, if, which is to say that otherwise, if this is happening, do this stuff. Okay. So what we're going to do, again, we have the Pokedex, the Pokemon list, and this is where we're going to need to take the information here and compare it to the list that we have here. So we have our Pokedex names, and we need to compare that list right now. So what we're going to do is, actually, I'm going to make this, I'm going to rearrange this, but not yet. So the way we're going to rearrange this is to say, the way we're going to write this is we're going to make a new variable called p names. So this corresponds to the Pokemon names, right? And right now that corresponds to this list right here. But we want to adjust that list. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the list like this, and then we're going to say this bracket notation, that just means we're going to take some stuff inside of it. So what are we going to take inside of it? Well, we're going to take the ones where the name specifically, do I want to do this yet? No, not yet. So we're going to say where the names contains, right? So meaning, does the name have this information here? And what is the information? The information that we care about is whatever they typed in here, right? So then we're going to say, just double checking something. What's the structure? Okay. Thank you. Got to check my notes real quick. So we're going to say values. Values is a variable that we haven't looked at yet, but it's comes stored with the simple GUI. And it's going to store anything it comes stored when we read the window, and the event is what is being pressed or typed or whatever, and the value is what is contained within that. So we're going to say values, and then we're going to go within the values, and we're going to find specifically whatever was typed here. We have this guy, and then this is going to give us the information we care about. And then again, like per usual, like we did above, we're going to say name dot values dot to list, and this is going to be p names. Okay, one more step, and that's going to be, we need to update the names on the list. So let's grab the key, and we're going to say window to say, hey, something's going to change on the window. And then what's going to change? Well, the POKÉDEX is going to change, and we're going to tell it to update. Well, what are we going to update? We're going to update with p names. Simple as that, right? Very simple. So we made the new list of names, the names of Pokemon that contains the information that we typed in or the user typed in. And then we're going to use that to update the window. All right. So if everything went correctly, now what should happen is if I type letters, then it should shrink this list to only be relevant info, right? So if I typed B, oops, I typed something and I immediately broke it. And that's because I had that same error that I had before. I accidentally typed names, but it should be just name. So we save that, make that change, and rerun it. Okay, now if I type B, would you look at that? Look at that. Every single one that has this B right there, all of them, capital B somewhere. Oh, this is awesome. This is going great. So we say B. We can also say, you know, any letter. Let's say M, right? So if I said I wanted Pikachu, so I would say Pika. Oops, Pika. Wait, hold on. That's not right. Look, Pikachu didn't pull up. But we know Pikachu's there because it's right here. But if you notice, this is a capital P, and we didn't type capital P. So if we type capital P Pikachu, it works. So I don't want to assume people are going to type the right capital or lowercase. So let's not do it that way. Instead, we're going to say any information, whether it's lowercase or capital. So we're just going to make some slight alterations to the code. So we're going to say values, and we're going to say, I don't care what you typed in. I just want to make it lowercase regardless, right? So no matter what you're typing, give it to me lowercase. The problem is the list of names, right, of the Pokemon, some of them are lowercase, some of them are capital, right? We have all of these things that we're going to have to deal with. So we're going to also tell the name to be lower, right? So that's typed like this. So we're going to say, take the name, make it a string, and make it lowercase. And then, again, as a string, tell me if it contains any of the value or any of the information that was typed out, again, as a lowercase value. And then that's going to be a list. But notice we don't have the lowercase here. That's saying, oh, when you print out the list is going to have capitals and lowercase. But as you type it in, I don't care what you type in. So just that simple. So we can type main of Python. So now if we type Pikachu, bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. We are making some progress. Okay, so now we have a list. This list changes as we type things, right? We can go back, we can go forward, we can type whatever. And notice, like, once I type something that there's no Pokemon that has these letters in it, it just goes away, right? So there's some ASs. So Blastoise, Bulbasaur, Sandslash, right? There's some ASs, but there's no ASLs, right? And this is awesome. This is exactly what we want. We have Mew, we get Mew and Mewtwo. This is perfect. Okay, now we need to actually expand this quite a bit. So that's just the first step. The next step is we need, first of all, we're going to make the other half of the section. So let's go back here. So remember I told you we're going to have the first half. So we need to add this line right here. So this line needs to get added. And then on this side, we're going to start very simple, right? The very first step is once an item is selected, we're just going to draw out all the information. So we have like the name, right? And then the height, right? The height, the name, the width, the weight, right? Just basic stats, these kinds of things. So we'll start with very basic information, but we're gonna send it to this side. But once it gets selected, okay. So let's do that now. So we can minimize this, close this down. And then first things first, let's make the other half of our setup, and let's clean this guy up a bit as well. So what we're gonna do is, instead of having this elif thing down here, we're gonna need an elif later. So I'm gonna instead say, and the program for the window closes the user closes the window, and then I'm gonna grab this, copy. All I'm doing is moving it to a new location, break, and then okay, now we're good. So it's first gonna check if they closed the window. If they did, close it. Otherwise, keep going and check other stuff. And then right now we're just checking not the OK button, but the typed, input. Oh, hold on. Actually, user typed input, right? So there is that. We are making some good progress and the code is starting to look nice, but we're going to make a bunch of changes to this, and this is going to look ugly really, really, really quickly. So we need to restructure this. So as you can see here, we have our project organized in two separate panels, right? We have the left column and then the right column, and then there's the divider. So let's do that next. So we're going to reorganize this, and we're going to say column 1, or actually first column. And this is going to be equal to this list just like we had before. And then in the list, the first item in the list is another list. And then we can grab this stuff. Bada bing. Bada boom. And then we have a comma, just like we had before. And then we're going to grab this. Okay, so all we did is we just made this a new variable. And that's just to make our lives a bit more organized, because we will need that in just a second. So we have this first column. So we are also going to need another column. So let's make a new column. And this is going to be called, what do you guess? Obviously, second column. Yep. First up, got to have some tea. Tea break. You need some kind of drink when you're coding. Whether it's vacation juice, coffee, tea, you need something. Today, we got some tea. Next time, maybe about to get some vacation juice on you guys. Okay, so now for the second column. Well, for the second column, what do we want? Let's look at this here. We're going to want some, we're going to want the name, right? And then we're going to want, so a text box, and then it's going to have other text. So a text colon and some other text, right? Height, and then some other text. Now, I think it would be kind of cool if we had them as list boxes, because they'll look empty. We can have it set it so they're empty to begin with. It should have been vacation juice. I actually drink vacation juice while streaming kind of a lot. I might, hold on, what time we got? I might be tempted to go grab something. If we can get this working, I'll go grab some right now. Where are my channel points to make you drink? Get me to 1,000 subs and we'll have channel points. By the way, for if this is successful, right? So this is the first time I'm streaming on YouTube. If this ends up being pretty successful, if people like it, enjoy, what we're gonna do is I'm going to continue the series again, all with things that are going to be helpful for people while they're streaming. So this one's Pokedex. The next one I was thinking about, so the meme setup on Twitch is relatively easy. It's not like insanely hard or difficult or anything. So we could do that. But the other thing is, if I'm going to be right now, there's no memes, you've noticed, which is very unusual for a buddy stream. Part of that is because no one has made any good versions of the Twitch stuff for YouTube. So I could make that as a stream, right? So that's another option. So yeah, something to think about if people are into that kind of thing. So getting back to this. So we're going to, I think, let's have an image. We're going to have an image at the very top. The image is going to be corresponding to whatever person is selected, right? Okay. And then the name, the height, or the person, I said person, Pokemon. And then it's going to type the name, the height, the weight, etc. So all the good stuff. So let's go implement that right now. So at the very top, right, we're going to want an image. So I don't remember the image one off the top of my head. And oh yeah, so let's do this. So this is where we're going to bring out the old Pi simple GUI element options. Yeah, that sounds good. Call reference. So here on the side, this is all of the elements that we can use. So we can use a checkbox, a column. Okay, that's what we're going to be using later, which we know. Input element, image element. This is exactly what we need. So we're going to need an image and a file name or a base 64 bytes will automatically tap the type and fill in file name or data for you. Okay. So we basically just give it the file and we should be good. Everything else is normal stuff, right? This is the source. Image file name. If there's a button image, interesting. So you can have images that are buttons. That's cool. Data. Yeah, nothing too special, just standard stuff. Then the size, we'll probably want the size. Padding, we won't deal with too much, but the key, yeah, this won't need a key. Yeah, okay. So this is relatively simple. And then it has all this extra information of like how big it is and getting information, and you can resize it. So this is set size if we need to update the size, right? We can also update the image. Okay, cool. So we need to go back here and we're going to set image. Okay. And then by default, we're going to say source equals none because by default, we don't want an image there, right? So the image should not be there. The file name, but what we do want, oh, not this. I'm going to go back up to image. All of this is set to none, which is perfectly fine. But the key, we are going to update the key. So let's go grab this key. True, how you get people aware of your YT, of your YT stream. For now, I'm just gonna rely on Discord, Twitter, and then just the YouTube algorithm. I think the YouTube algorithm and getting discovered on YouTube is way easier than getting discovered on Twitch. So, you know, I think I did pretty good on Twitch. So I think it's only a matter of time that I can get pretty, you know, decent following this way. Filthy. When the hell did you go live? I went live at 10. I went live at 10. So hold on, Filthy. Let me show you this. Because you just got here. Hold on. While you were gone, hold on. Let me do this one thing. So I'm going to type this just so it doesn't break. And we're going to do SG. Oops. Yeah. SG dot column. And then first column. So look at what we've done so far. As long as I broke something. God dang it. Your row... definitely broke something. On. God, hold up. I broke it. I done broke it. Let me think. Column, that part's correct. Do I need this to be another column? Is this a list with, I think it's actually a list within a list. Hold on. I think this might fix it. Oh yeah, it did. Okay. So look at this, Filthy. Look at what we've done. We have our little app, right? So this little app here, it says Pokedex, gotta catch them all, and then it has the Pokemon, and then as we type in a name of a Pokemon, it searches within this and selects only the Pokemon that are relevant. Look at that. That's so freaking cool. Okay. So that is what's happening so far. Now the next step is to like I mentioned before, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add images. We're gonna get the name and height and weight and all that good stuff. So this step is gonna take a bit, I'm not gonna lie, but we can do some simple stuff right out of the gate. So first off, we have our column, the first column, and then we're going to do what's called hold on, what is it called? I have it here in my notes. V separator. So a vertical separator. Perfect. So just like that. Actually we can do this. We have a vertical separator. So now if we did this, we can see we just have a vertical line right there. The vertical line solving problems just like that. So now we can easily separate the right half from the left half. The right half is going to need to start off with an image, and then we said we were going to have a key so we can update that image. So the key is going to be im, right? Let's do img. And then underneath that, so we're going to have not right next to it. In the next section down, we're going to have an input. Okay. And then, oh wait, no, we said we're going to have a list box, not an input. We're going to have a text, right? A piece of text. Okay. And then, this says Pokemon. So this is going to say name. Okay. And then we're going to have a list box, which by default is, I'm losing brain cells. Well, you should be gaining brain cells. This is making you smart, Filthy. Oh, let's put a comma. I'm not good with code. Well, you're gonna learn today, Filthy. You're gonna learn today. Oh wait, we forgot to add it. So close. So this is our second column. So we're gonna do just like we did here, right? So this, grab this bad boy, and add the not first column, but the second column. Okay, so now we can do run that, and then voila, look, we have this. Uh-oh, we have a problem. This should not be that massive, right? That's insanely huge, and in fact, way too big. So we're gonna need to adjust the size. So this is going to be size in the next list box. This is going to be size, let's say like 10, something like that. Buddy, I'm not in school anymore. You're not in school, but you're making something awesome. This is literally going to make a freaking Pokedex. What? We're making a Pokedex so you can have this on your stream. That way anyone, once this is done, anyone can have this on their stream. Okay, that looks a little better, but I didn't realize it was going to have all the scrolling action, and that does not look that good in my opinion. So let's see if we have another thing. I like this like pink, so I think it would be really cool if we can have something kind of like how we have it up here where it's an input. So let's check and see. Here's this. So we have input. Menu might be interesting. Option menu, main element, progress bar, push element, resizer, radio, spin, tab, table, text, let's check input and see if we can have the default text. Does it have an update? Update. It does have an update. It's not the best strategy, but it will work for right now, just to get us a sense. So let's go here, and then we're going to do name, not a list box, but instead an in. We can just grab this part. In. Oops. This goes like this, and this goes like this. All right, so we have values. So it's not values. Instead, it's going to be default text is empty. Okay. And then, okay, this is not going to be the poke list. This is going to instead be name. There we go. So let's try this again, and let's see what this looks like. If this doesn't look great, oh, that looked perfect, right? The only problem is I don't want them to be able to type in there, but that's fine. We'll figure that out later. So we have name. The image is going to go up here. The name. Okay. So let's do some keys so we can manipulate stuff, right? So name, text. Let's do, we can do space. Name, text. And then key, the actual name. Excellent. Let's do all caps, just to keep things consistent. I saw Filthy type something. Wait, is it just me, or do you see Filthy typing like a loading symbol? Is that, what in the world, dude? That's funny. Okay, so we have the input, and it's gonna be name, and we'll be able to adjust that. And then we have the text, which is name, and that will also be able to be adjusted. I wonder if we make the size. Let's make the size 0. Oops, not 01, 0. And then let's see what it does. Oh, didn't save it. Okay, let's see what it does. No, it looks like we can't make it fully 0, but that's fine. Your brain is buffering. So yeah, we'll just go back to 10 and 1. That's fine. We don't need to make everything perfect for this pass, because like I said, I'm going to make all the fancy stuff later. I think that is yeah, I thought it was like loading his text. That's the funny part. I thought it was like loading the message. Okay. So we have this, right? Name text. Excellent. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we need to go check on this event, right? And the event we need to check is, it's called, oops. So basically, once they select one of the Pokedex lists from the list box, so once they select one of the Pokemon, we need to, yo, Isaiah's so cool. How are you doing, Isaiah? We're making a Pokedex right now. Message retracted. All right, never mind. Don't want to say yo. Isaiah is my friend, so ye. Oh, hello, Isaiah. Friend of Filthy. If you're a friend of Filthy, you're a friend of me. Okay. Values, get size. Hide. Set cursor. Oh, interesting. We can just like straight up set their cursor. That's really cool. Set value. Set vertical scroll position, unbind, update. So in update, what can we do here? Oh, we can make it not visible anymore. Oh, I wonder. Oh, we should definitely do that. Yeah, I'm going to come back and see if input input. Does this have that option for do this list box? Scroll up. Update. Visible. Oh, sweet. We can. I made him come here. Oh, nice. Hello, Isaiah. So we're making a Pokedex. Do you like Pokemon? I actually am like indifferent about Pokemon, to be honest, but I think making Pokedexes are awesome. That I do like. So we need to get the information. I think that's going to be actually here. So values, lists, that's the input, and then, expand. Okay, hold on. Let me see. What's the window.read? Oops. Not that. I want this. Window object. There we go. And then what we need to find, add rows. We can do all the kinds of cool stuff, but we want the information on read. Close, timeout. Return. Ah, okay. So we don't know the top off the top of our head. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little trick and just tell it to tell us what's happening. So I'm going to say here, if event is this guy. Oops. I've been talking about you to him and he keeps begging me to play Fortnite with you, but I keep saying it's only on Fridays, but he's never wants to join on Fridays. And I told him you were going to take a break and he was sad. He likes Pokemon. Well, I'm glad that he is here to join us nonetheless. And yeah, I play Fortnite most Fridays, but I am taking a small break. Yeah, shoot, the weird question. I'm curious. Go for it. What is my real name? Ooh, that is it's not that I am uncomfortable giving my real name. I don't actually mind, but I really like people to call me buddy, and I think it's helpful to make my stream grow. So I won't say it on stream. At least not yet. Once I start to grow more, then maybe I won't. I mean, like I said, I don't really care if people know. It's more of I want people to only call me buddy. I respond to it. I've learned to respond to buddy so instinctively now, actually. It's kind of funny. Like if somebody says, hey, buddy, out, like when I'm at work, then I'll just turn around. I'm like, what's up? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to print values. We need to just like know what the heck is in this. So here we're going to say values. What is it? Okay, the same thing. So we're going to do this, this, and this. And then this. Okay. So this is probably going to print a lot of stuff, which is fine. But I just want to get a sense of like what is actually happening. Oh, interesting. It's not actually printing anything. Hold on. Let's see this print. Oh, wait, what? Hold on. Print. Updated list. Okay. Here we go. Now let's try to rerun that again. Let's see if this works. Wait, what? Wait, unless. Okay. Oh, that's actually so much easier. So it only if you select. Oh, that makes our life so much easier. That's actually insane. If you're coming to, yeah, okay. We'll talk about it. Okay. So that it literally only activates this when you actually select an item. So that's so helpful. And if you switch item, it just instantly switches. So what we're going to do then is this can be removed. And instead, we're going to say, if you selected one, we're going to take values and then do this, grab this bad boy like this. And then we're going to say, because it's a list, you can see this is a small list like this. We're going to just say, give me the first little guy in that list. Okay, the first guy in the list. And then if I select something, wait, hold on. Wait, what? It was just working. I'm so confused. Unless I don't need this. It might be that. That might be the reason. Okay, what? I just had it. I'm so confused. Oh, it's because I'm not printing it. I'm so dumb. Let me print it again, just to 100% be sure. This. Buddy's real name is star. That's actually my legal name. Most people don't know. Okay, yeah, this is exactly what we want. Okay, so now what we have is every time we select a random thing, right? It's going to, we have that information of what Pokemon they said. So now here's where things are going to get a little bit complicated, because now what we need to do is, this ain't Twitch 12. It doesn't censor things. Now I actually have it. I've coded up a sensor to automatically censor my name in chat. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have the information we need. Now what we need to do is we need to use that information. So what we're gonna do is we have this Pokedex list, but we need to add a new guy saying it's called Pokemon Pokedex requests, right? .py. So request, this is how we're going to get the information that we need. Okay. So how do we get this information? So first of all, I don't have all the information in my brain, and there's no way we don't want to write every single option, and that would just take way too long. So luckily there is a thing, API, there we go. So there is this really cool website. So what we can do is we go here, and let's say we pick a Pokemon. So this is Bulbasaur. So if we go to Bulbasaur, what we'll see is a bunch of information relevant to Bulbasaur, and then depending on the information you want, you can adjust the way that this is working. My real name is first name, filthy last name. First name filthy, last name laser. LOL. Okay, so yeah, so like right here, for example, so we could get here, we get the ID. The ID is what number they are. Okay. We also get the height. Okay. And then we can see down here, we get the weight, LOL 69, funny number, LOL, funny number alert. Okay. So what we need to do is now we need to access that information. So we're going to make, we're going to grab this. So the usual setup, okay, we're going to start right here, and we're going to call this base URL equals this bad boy. And then, here we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a function. And this function, let's see, what are we going to call this function? Okay, so this function is going to be def get poke data, right? And this function is going to take one input, and that's going to be the Pokemon that we need. Okay, you better be updating that memes for Twitch on streams right now. Not a chance, dog. No, I actually, what I'm doing is I'm planning on coding on stream how to do it, and then that'll make sure that I actually update the Twitch ones. but I have in my current setup, I coded a very long time ago where I didn't expect to add as many memes as I did. So it's actually making my computer slower having all those memes set up. So instead, I'm going to make it on like a website. So you just use the browser source and you can do whatever you want. So yeah, that's complicated stuff that we'll talk about in the future. So don't worry too much. So what's going to happen here? First thing here is we're going to make the URL. So the URL is the base URL. And then we're going to simply add on the Pokemon. Just like that. So if we did this, now, Pokedex Toadette. Toadette, where are you? It's Monday. I know, right? Okay. So now we're going to say, So if we did, I'm going to type Python. And now we're going to say import, actually, hold on, exit. Let's have some colors, IPython. And then we're going to say import Pokedex requests. Excellent. So then we are going to, hold on, let's print the URL. Okay, just to have a starting point. Okay, so then from here, we need Toadette on there. Gorilla and the Chickie. So if we did, now we imported this. So now we get, Poke data. Excuse me. Okay. If we said get the Poke data, and then we can say the Pokemon is Mew, then, oh, whoops. My bad. Pokedex request dot get Poke data. I spelled it wrong. That is the bane of my existence. Okay. Oh, whoops. That's why we test things. So now we can do exit. We can go here. IPython. I went on Twitch before joining. I saw you weren't streaming, then I was confused and I slapped myself because I remembered it was YouTube. Don't worry. It's fine. It's a first time. So it makes sense that you would forget. Okay, so this is exactly what we needed. So now, if we wanted the information from you, all we need to do, we go like this. We say, give me the information from you. And then bada bing, bada boom. Look at all this. We get all of the information we need. We can do anything, any Pokemon we want. So that's step one. So now what we need to do is, this is getting that information. Now we actually, or so that's getting, where is that information on the internet? Now we need to actually say, hey, give me the information. Go to that website, in other words. So we're going to say request.get. Not first time. This is the first time on the Buddy YouTube, for sure. This is the first time I've streamed on YouTube by myself. First time for everything. Strange. Okay. Now, what we need to do is, okay, so yeah, it's, I'm just checking my notes here real quick. Okay, yeah. So we're going to have get, and then we're going to get the URL, and then, we're going to call this resp for response. So this is the response that we get from the URL. And then we're going to call Pokedata. Actually, we can do this all in one line. Why not? I don't think I'll ever use this again. Yeah. So we can do this dot JSON. There we go. Now we have the Pokedata. Can you see my messages? Yes, I can, Isaiah. Remember the live a month ago from like how to start streaming for beginners? No. Actually, no. Remember this. I streamed on YouTube. There's no way. I might have like tested to make sure that I can stream, but that's not the same as streaming. Okay, so we're gonna have, we need height, right? Height. First off, so let's start with height. So height is we look right here, height is its own thing. So it's not nested in something else. So that's good. So we say this, and then we do just like that. Height. We say, give me the height. We are also going to divide the height by 10 because to get it into meters. So height in meters. And then same, literally the same exact thing. Hold on. The live premiere. No, that was not a live. That wasn't live. That was pre-recorded. It just premiered, but it wasn't live. Okay, so this one, we're gonna say both of these need to be changed. Now we have the weight, which is in kilograms, and this also needs to be divided by. Yeah. No. It was just a premiere. Premieres aren't live. Premieres are just like a special thing on YouTube where like instead of just having the video be available to everybody, it's available, but it's also like has this special like intro thing. But I like that I was like just at my computer. I wasn't like that wasn't me doing that information. That was all pre-recorded, which is why I could have all the fancy edits and stuff. Okay. So we have our weight and we have our height. We should also get our name. So let's do that. Name. It was live, but not live at the same time. What? That's funny. Okay, so let's look up where the name is. We'll also want the number. But we don't have to do all this at once. But since we're here, let's just grab it. So let's look here. We have the number is called ID in here. So let's grab Pokedex. This is going to be ID. And we'll enable this national, number. And then we actually need the name is in forms for some strange reason. So we're going to say Pokedex dot forms. And I'm in your YouTube vid. I'm famous. Are you in when I show the Discord? Is that why? So we have this and then this, I think. Actually, this one we're gonna definitely need to check. So let's do let's just do this. So we're gonna say data equals actually real quick, URL equals, grab this part, this, and then this. There you go. And then data equals this. Copy. There we go. Import requests. There we go. Cut. There we go. So now we have data, and then we can do forms. One second. I need to sneeze. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. I see I made a typo. So it's this. Okay. Perfect. So then within here, we need just the very first guy. And then from here, we can do name. Perfect. Okay. So we have name. And there we go. Okay. And then the thing that I don't remember, I don't think there was a Discord part. I showed Discord a couple times. When you did your intro thing, like the before and after thing? Mans walked to China just to see. I needed to get a tissue. That's why. I needed a tissue. My apologize. Okay. What I don't remember is, hold on, let's see. Candace. capitalize first letter. Capitalize. Okay, so we have a series. Lower makes everything lower. Upper makes everything fully uppercase. And then title. So this is what we want. We're going to want it to be proper capitalization. So then all we do is we add this. Simple as can be. Title, cased, name. Okay. So just like that, we have a bunch of information. And then what we're going to do is we're going to temporarily, this will be the end of the function for now. This will definitely change. And what we're going to do is we're going to say data equals, hold on. Actually, let's do this. Data, and this one's going to be called POKÉDEX. POKÉDEX equals, and this is going to be, how do I want to structure this? I can't go to the live on my Xbox. It said you blocked it on the, wait, I did not block it. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about, dude? Let me see. How do I want to do this? For now, it's okay if we just do this. Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to say name. And then his name. We're going to say number. Actually, let's make everything lowercase. Name, number. Let's make this also single quotes just to be consistent. There we go. Number is number. Then a comma, and then what we can do is a trick just like this. Boom, boom. And this is gonna be height and weight. Okay, so we now have every piece of information that we need. Okay, data. Not as a list. That's a mistake. Okay, so now to exit. Actually, hold on. IPython. We can do import Pokedex request, and then we can say get Pokedex request dot 1 second get Pokedata, and we're gonna say Mew. Oh, right. This is not on. That wasn't a pandas thing. Hold on. Python string capitalize first letter only. Sample text title. So I just need title. Got it. So that was my mistake. So we do this. Now I can exit. Run everything again. Excellent. Look at that. So we have all of the information that we need. Just like that. It says the publisher of this live has blocked this live on this platform. Please contact publisher and try again. I don't even know how I would even do that if I wanted to do that. But I could do a quick check and see if I can fix that. Okay, highlight, add stream marker, share, manage. Oh. Stream health. Nope. Analytics. Uh, yeah, I don't even know how I would block that if I wanted to block it. So I don't know, my guy, but I can try to look into it after this. Okay, so that's the next step, right? So we get the information from here. So we have name, number, height, weight, etc. So what we need to do is we need to update name in here for key name. Okay. So when this happens, we're gonna take that, instead of doing this, we're gonna import Pokedex request. We're going to take this and we're gonna say this dot get Pokedata. Excellent. So this is gonna return all of the Pokedata that's relevant. And then from here is gonna get Pokedata. Right? And then from here, what we need to do is we need to update stuff. So temporarily, we only need to update this one because it's the only one we have. So it's values and then this guy. Yeah. So it's just like we did here. So window and then this and then dot update, and we update with Pokedata. And then specifically, how do we name it? It was name. Okay, so this is pretty sloppy the way I had written because the things are not matching up, and I would normally write it in a way that would not be the case. But for the time being, that's totally fine because we just want to check things out, make sure they're working. So all that we should expect to happen is as we clicked on a thing, well, we should not expect a crash and burn. So line 65 ran to the main, then got to line 55. 55 went to this guy. Girl JSON on. Get Pokedata on complex. Wait a second. That's surprising. So if I did, who's doing Python, import Pokedata or Pokedex request, and then I do Pokedex underscore request. I'm gonna head out for stream. I'm late and not saying till the end. Don't worry. I appreciate the fact that you were even here to begin with. Thank you so much, Filthy. Sorry you couldn't get it set up on your thing. Hello, Isaiah. Hi. Get hold on, what is it? It's get Poke data, and then you, let's say, and then weird. If I did capital, that shouldn't affect it, right? It does. Would you look at that? Okay, well that answers that. So values, then we do dot lower. That was the problem. Okay, well, we figured it out. So now we do here. We should be able to run it. And then we should be able to click. And then bada bing, bada boom, Bulbasaur right there. So now we could just copy that code. And then we can fix a bunch of things at once. Okay. So here we have this. And then we're going to want put a comma. And then we're going to make a couple of these in a row. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh God, this is gonna confuse me. So this is the first one. So this is number 2. So number 2 is ID or national number. Oops. And this is gonna be ID. Number. Text and ID or number, just to keep things similar. Okay, the next one we're gonna do height, but the height is a bit special because for height, actually what's gonna happen, we're gonna go like this. I put some more text at the end, and this is gonna say kilograms. Okay, and then starts with nothing, adds in height and height. You can grab this, copy, pasta. Before I leave, I want to ask if you fixed the monkey ever since I broke. Oh, I haven't tried to fix any memes, so no is the answer to the question. Height, and this is gonna say, oops, weight. There we go. So now we can go down here. We can go like this. What? Let's do that again. Don't know what just happened. There we go. And then here we have height. Update the height. Weight. Update the weight. This is all lowercase. This is uppercase. And then one more. This is number. Update number. Okay. And then if we look up here, we should see, yeah, name, number, height, and weight. Okay. So this is the basics. So if we do this, we can close this now and then run it. And then we see, there we go. Name, national number, height in kilograms, weight in, oh wait, that was not supposed to be all caps. So this is supposed to be height, and this is supposed to be weight. There we go. To reset that. Okay, so then if I clicked Venusaur, the national number, the height, and the weight, this is awesome. Okay, so now next step is to add the picture. So our picture is the key, this guy. All right, and then here we go. We're gonna go like this, and then let's go back to this guy. And what we need to do is remind ourselves is the image. How do we update the image? Image element. Actually, let's go input and then scroll up. So we have update animation. No, we just want to update. So we can update and add a file name. 64-bit bytes. So I'm going to check the type. I wonder if, what inspired you to get into programming? For me, it was creating games. So for me, actually, I did it as just for school. So we, in order to go through in my degree, you needed to learn to analyze data. Was like the first way I learned how to code. So in order to analyze data, there were some like what are called GUI. So basically like apps that you can go through to analyze data, but it didn't allow you to do all the custom fancier statistics that you needed to do to answer some of the questions I was interested in. So I learned how to code and program to be able to answer some of those questions. And then later on, I realized that if I wanted to run experiments, right, to understand how people make the choices they do or to behave the way they do, a great way is making an experiment, which is essentially like coding a game in many respects. It's just like you have very specific things that you need to have happen. But other than that, it's like a game. So I have a bunch of experiments that are like basically really, really boring games because I don't really, it's not my goal to make you enjoy it. It's my goal is to make sure that I can understand something from it, right? So that was the next phase that I learned things. And then from there, I just kept expanding and learning new cool things. And like right now I'm building robots, just like coding how, so like you can use very tiny computers and combine that with code and you can make a robot like right now we're going to do like basically like a RC car for the first robot, but you can have ones that have like security cameras that can move around. Another bot that I was going to make is like it's kind of like an RC car, but instead it drives itself. So like it has a sensor attached and it recognizes how far something is. And then if it's very close, then it goes into a new direction. If it's not close, it can keep going in that same direction. So a lot of cool things like that. Yeah, that's what's up with that. Okay. So we need to update the image, right? So the image that we're going to update, I suspect the image will not work with a URL, but let's just test that real quick. So, whoops, if we go here, we can see sprites. Sprites are like the name for the images. I'm going to click on this one. No. I'm going to click on Dream World. Is that one? No, official artwork. There we go. So this is like the official artwork that we're going to be using. I suspect that if I go and use this as a URL, it would not like me. So let's test that hypothesis. So we'll go here. And I'm very curious, Deanna, what kind of games did you create? What kind of games did you create? Yeah, that's what I thought. It cannot do, oops. It cannot do a URL, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So instead, what we need to do is we need to update this guy. And we're going to add one more thing. And this is going to be image, img. And then this is going to be the file name. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious, what kind of games did you create? And what we need to do is in this section, we need to get the image, which is stored in a very not user-friendly location. I'm curious. If I did mute, I suspect that doesn't, yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, so it's only by number. Wait a second. I could probably spoof this. I can spoof this. Okay, I'm gonna slightly cheat just to make our lives a bit easier and make this thing go quicker. Okay, hold on. Python request download image. Okay, you can either use raw to iterate over response. Request get here with path that right, and then raw decode, and then they decided to copy the file from here to there. This is a better way, it looks like. This is way cleaner. Actually, we're gonna do it this way. This way is very clean. Okay. So, whoops. Turn-based games. Ooh. Tell me more. Tell me more. So we're gonna do a new GET request. I need sutil. That's fine. Response dot raw out file. Okay. That should work. So this img.png. Perfect. This should be perfection. Okay. So to explain what's happening here a bit, basically what we just did was let me finish this guy. M URL equals F. Then we have this and this number. Okay. So this is going to grab the official artwork, right? And then specifically, it's going to go into, this is going to grab the official artwork. And then it's going to make it a img.png file. And this could have been any file name. It doesn't really matter. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take all the information from there and put it into the file. That's basically it. So if we did it correctly, if we typed if main, let's just add this, and then instead of main, we're gonna say this. Or actually, hold on. Let's be more Pythonic, right? So def main, and then the only thing main does is this. Main by default will run, we'll say, oops, Bulbasaur. So we want, which was fine. We could do 1. By default, it'll run 1. Okay. So then if we do Python, Pokedex, main, oh wait, hold on. And then like this, we get an image. Voila. So that was our next step. And then what we need is in our main, all we need to do is we take the Pokedata and then we grab the image. Perfect. So now, if we did everything properly, which we definitely did, because I'm the best coder of all time. So it starts off, it has name, national number, height, weight, etc., whatever. And then we click on this. We get the image. Whoa, dude. Look at that. Okay, so as you can see, the image is kind of massive. So let's fix that real quick. So if we go here, image, update, and then size. So the size needs to be adjusted. And then just because I don't want it to look all really funky, what I'm gonna do, let's go here. I'm just gonna, oops. It's way too big, but we'll change that. Just 1 second, don't worry. Start. So we're gonna open up this. So this is where the image is. But what I want to know is how big is this image? So properties, details. It's 475 by 475. So we'll make it like 200 by 200, right? So it's exactly the same size. So we don't want to mix it up too much, right? We don't want to affect the aspect resolution. So we're just going to do this. That's our first step. Okay. Then from here we go up, run main. And if we did it correctly, we're going to hit this and immediate. Oh, schniggity snipes. Okay. We didn't adjust the size of this. We just said how big of should the image be. Okay. Not quite what we wanted. Instead, oops, not that. I want this. Okay. String. Okay, size. Achievable height of the image in pixels. Visible. Is there update animation? No. Changes some of the settings of an image that must be called from window.read, window.finalize prior to clear an image that's been displayed, call with none of the options set. A blank update call will delete the previously shown image. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. But what we want is we need to make a small adjustment. How do we make that small adjustment? Set size? The size in characters rows typically. The new cases, in some cases, they're pixels. Interesting. So, let's do this temporarily. Let's first say, what is it actually? So we're going to do boop, boop, boop. And so this will tell us print whether it thinks the size of the image or does it not care about that. It only cares about the size that it's printing. So let's test that real quick. Hit this. That was not at all what I was expecting. Set size. Okay, let's do non-size here. And then this one is going to be like, oh wait, one. Whoops. To copy, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. And then remove this. Remove this. And then we're going to do set the size and then we're going to print it again. Okay. The size, the new size will be, it needs to be a tuple, right? Yeah. So we'll do, I don't know, 250 by 300 just to get some information. And then we close this. We can save, save, and run it again. So we'll have this part. We say run, and then it literally, again, the get size, I have no idea what the heck get size is actually doing. Return the size of an element in pixels, which is definitely not true. Care must be taken as some elements use characters to specify their size, but will return pixels when calling size nothing. Yeah, no idea what that's actually trying to do. Not a clue what that's trying to do. Okay. Anyways, we know that what we want is not the set size thing. Instead, what we're going to do is going to cheat the system and just adjust the size of file in Python. So Python change image size. Yep, that's what I thought. We need Pillow, which is fine. Pillow's a great repository, but they can do, and it can do so much. Mode, size, changing image type, resizing. This is what we need. So we need to load the image. It's going to take a bit longer for the code to run now, but that's fine. So we have this is the image that we need to work with. Load the image, resize it. Save it. We can save it as Pokemon. Yeah, we'll save it as Pokemon. Not a JPEG. We have a PNG still. You have good coding practices. Thank you. It was an investigation, like a pie investigation game. Ooh, interesting. Very, very interesting. I noticed that I'm trying to focus on this a bit more, because when I code, I usually get very much into the zone. And so I think I've done a pretty good job of explaining like what I'm doing and stuff, but I have not done nearly as good a job of reading chat as I do when I'm on Twitch, which is pretty interesting, because I'd say it's a lot harder to game and read chat than code and read chat. But nonetheless, so this is going to be, we're going to call this Pokemon. Excellent. So we're resizing it to, let's do 350. 350. This is honestly not very good code practices right now. We really want to allow this to be adjustable, but for now, it's fine. We're just testing stuff out. Like I said, most of this won't even, well, yeah, most of this code, like the basic code will work, but image, I need to install Pillow. Where is, there it is. I don't know if this has Pillow already installed, so we'll find out. Yep, we do not have it. So we can do Pillow. Conda install Pillow. I think it's capital. I might be wrong. Nope, I was right. Yes. And again, feel free, if you're, for those who have been following along, totally welcome. But the whole point of this project is that now you won't have to. Okay, so now we should be able to do this. I should be able to do this. Image not defined. Hold on. IPython import pill. What? I put it in the wrong section. Put in the wrong file. I meant to put it here. There we go. Now we exit. That was a my B moment. There we go. So now it should work. Excellent. That doesn't look resized, to be completely honest, but it might be. Let's make an extreme example to really know. Let's do like 150, but yeah, this will be very obvious if we do it. Okay, it's not doing it. So the question is why? Well, that explains it. There's your problem. We're sending the wrong information. Okay, now we can do it again. Go here. Yes. Okay, it's definitely working. 350 seems like a good enough amount, to be completely honest. And we can do it one more time. So one more thing that is pretty bad practice that of what we're doing right now is we are, how do I say this? We're currently designed it such that every time we ask and say, hey, give me, Pokemon whatever, right? It's always going to give me that Pokemon, but it's going to always constantly go to this, whoops, wrong thing. It's going to go to this website right here, and it's going to go and search for the information, and then it's going to go to this website and download this, but it's downloading all of this every single time. Well, first off, that's bad for them, right? Because every time you go to a person's website, like, it actually costs them money every time you go to a website. So they're not going to be happy with this if I constantly go to their website multiple times, back and back and back again, right? So not the best solution. Same with this one. They're two different websites, but like, they're not going to want me to constantly do this. But also, it's wasting my internet resources. Like, there's no reason. Like, I just downloaded it. I don't need to download the same exact information again. So I will not show this part because this is very technical and gets complicated. But like, what we should be doing is what your web browser does. So if I go to a web browser, you've probably heard this before, right? You go to a web browser and you hear the term cache, right? Which is to say that when you go to a web browser, most web browsers don't change. Like, most of the time, if you go to a website, the information is the same as the information was yesterday, the same as it was last week. Like, it's most of the web doesn't change that often, right? If you're going to just like a random web page. So what your browser does is says, hey, I got this page yesterday, right? Not really yesterday, but it's like, it has a time between it. It says, I got this page yesterday. It's probably the same. I could just send it to you again. And so it sends it to you. And so sometimes when some information has been updated and you know that it's been updated, you'll be like, hey, that's weird. It's not showing me the update. And all you have to do is you can force it to refresh the page and then you're good. Well, that's essentially what we're doing right now, is we're always forcing it to refresh the page. But like, Bulbasaur is always the first Pokemon. It's always got the name Bulbasaur. It's always going to have the same exact image, right? It's always going to have the same weight, the same height, right? All of this stuff is not going to change. So if we download it once, we should, if we're doing this well, we should save this information on your machine, right? And never download it again, right? That's going to be the best case scenario. And I will do that, not here, but I'll do that in the off time when we get everything going. But look at what we have. Let's just talk about this for a second. We have a situation where I can go in here and say, hey, here's a Pokemon. And instant, like, look how quick that was. That was like a snap of the finger and I get a Pokemon. Like, that's so fast that it did all of that information all that quickly. That's absolutely amazing. And there are other things, like I mentioned the caching, but there's other things we can do to speed this process up even more. So what we can do is say right now, it takes the web browser, it takes it a second to download that information. So instead, while it's downloading something, right, we can say, hey, download this and tell me when you're ready. And in the meantime, go do this other stuff, right? While that's happening, we can do other things and it'll speed up our app quite a bit. So those are other things that I will do in the background because they're pretty technical. But yeah, I think this is, honestly, let's check the time. Yeah, we have another hour of stream if we want. But I think this is honestly a very cool little setup, right? We type a name or we do it clicking a button and it's like so quick. That is honestly freaking awesome. And if you were following along, you should feel very proud of yourself. But how do we take this one step? This is too much switching task for me. Too much task switching for the ADHD brain over there. That is cold now. I definitely need to warm that tea up. Okay. So yeah, this is super cool. But in the last hour or 15 minutes or so, the cool part and the thing that I know you really care about We saved it for last, but this is the part where we're gonna make the actual Pokedex video and all that stuff. Okay, so for now, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be complicated, so hang in there with me. But we are, yeah, let's just do it. So to make our life simple and to not like go too insane, I'm actually going to go here. Let's do this brush. I'm gonna just extend. Great, the canvas is too small. There we go. I'm just gonna extend the panel, so we're gonna have a third column, and this is gonna be where the Pokedex. So this is gonna, oops, here, this Pokedex. Pokedex. Right? And then it's going to be the classic Pokedex that you always see on my stream. Okay. So first thing is first. We need to get, so we have the Pokedex. Do you want to save changes to Untitled? Cancel. We don't want to close this. Okay. So first things first, you'll notice that we don't have the actual Pokedex entries, and that's because we need to make one small change here, and then we should be able to get it. Hold on. Pokemon dash species. There it is. Okay. So now we have, this is going to be a list of all of the entries. So we have in here, we have the text entries for every single Pokemon, for every single game. So this is the Pokemon Red entry for Bulbasaur. This is the blue Pokemon Blue entry. This is the yellow entry. This is the gold entry. And you'll see, if you paid close attention, you'll see if we scroll down a lot, you'll see them in all kinds of language. So here's in Spanish, here's in Dutch, French, right? Korean, right? I have no idea what language that is. Now I'm gonna try that. Korean again, French. So we have all kinds of languages in here. And obviously we don't need to go through every single one. All we need is the English one. So that's the first step, is we go here and we get the English and only the English ones from this big giant list. Okay. So let's start with that. Names. Oh, this is cool. It tells you the names. Oh, interesting. Oh, this is, yeah. This is just the names in the different, so this is, well, let's do a quick example here. So this is in Korean. This is how you say Bulbasaur, right? In French, this is how you say Bulbasaur. In Dutch, in Spanish, right? Italian, and English, obvious. I think that's Japanese, right? So that's pretty cool, all on its own. But obviously, so if you were following along and you had a particular language that you wanted to do, and I don't know, if I'm feeling really up to it, I'll let you select different languages in a drop-down menu. But in theory, we can have this set up by different languages. There's like nothing stopping us from doing that. I'm not gonna do that right now, but like we could. Okay. Yeah, so we have Ivysaur, we have the name, we have the national number, we have the height. Later on, we'll make it so they can't edit these things, which would be cool. But the thing we actually care about, the last little piece of the puzzle, is to adding the actual Pokedex. So this is going, like I said, this is going to take a bit. We're going to new function, and it's going to be Pokedex video. Let's just call it video. All right. So the Pokedex video is going to, as an input, it's going to also need the Pokemon. And then from here, we have our base URL. which we're actually going to slightly adjust by doing this and this. Actually, no, even better practice. We're gonna do base URL equals f string base URL, and then this. Excellent. And then we're gonna do very similar down here. But this instead, we're going to say Pokemon dash species. Excellent. And then 13. Okay, sorry if this has been answered, but if you wanted to have it displaying the height and weight for every Pokemon, you would have to add it manually for each one, or can you just grab it from the website source? Not that I'm going to code this anytime soon. No. So the code we have set up is designed so that if you just select any Pokemon, it'll automatically pull it for you. So if we select Charizard, okay. If I didn't just break this, that would have worked. But give me a second to fix that, and then it will work. Hold on 1 second while I think. Okay, let's just do this. Pokemon / do that, ignore this, and then this will work. Okay, if I click this, as you'll see, this is instantly populated with the weight, height, and national number and the name, right? All of this is automatically updated. I don't have to like go to the website and check. Like I did this way just for like visual purposes, so it had that like nice little pink contrast, but everything is a-okay. Like we don't have to worry about it, right? I feel like half the time coding is just typing things in, breaking it, fixing it, and then having something else breaks until it works. So there's actually a famous programmer who said if so there's a process called debugging, which is where you fix the bugs that you've included in your program, and he says that if debugging is the process of removing bugs, then programming is the process of adding them in. So yes, that's a very common sentiment a lot of people have. You will, anytime you code anything, for sure you're going to have like an insane amount of errors. Especially when you're doing something new. And if you've noticed, like a lot of the errors that I had were very silly things. Like I just like added an S or added a comma or whatever, or forgot a comma or something very simple that only got adjusted because I made a slight update, right? So here we go. We're gonna do this API URL, and then here, and this is gonna be API API URL. Now there we go, and then API URL, and this is gonna be no. Dex URL. There we go. Okay, so this should work. I did this, and then oops. Errors. Okay. Errors are just typos that come, but it comes back as error. Everything is broken. It does. And it actually, a lot of like new beginning programmers, they're like, they get very frustrated because they see like so in this case, because I hold on, let me show you an example in like yeah let's do this. So I get rid of this, and then I do IPython. Oops, IPython. So normally it'll look something like this if I made an error. it has like bright red, and it's like, hey, you messed up here, and then more red, and then oftentimes it's like bright error, right, and warning, and like this like scares new people so much because it just like all of our like internal emotional sensors are like, holy crap, you're doing something wrong, you're murdering us, it's over. So yeah, I think it's a bit aggressive, which is why most of the time when you see like my little errors, it's just it's all white because I don't think, like, I already know I made a mistake. I don't need yelling by a computer. Okay, so here's the species information. Now we need to, again, our best friend, the request. So we have this. There we go. So we have data. And then from here, we got to go here. This is where we're going to have a bit more complicated piece of code, but we'll try to make it simple. So we have flavors text entry. It's a very, very weird name. Okay. So we have data dot, oh no, dot. Yeah. Flavors text entry. Is that it? Entries. Okay. So what I'm going to do is let's go up here, copy this. And then we're going to say import requests. So we're going to do some quick, whoops. We're going to do some quick testing. And then we're going to say this. Pokemon almost had an error there again. So we have Pokemon. And then we'll, for right now, we'll just say Bulbasaur. God. Okay, but right now we'll say Bulbasaur. So if we type Dex URL, it should perfect. Okay. And then from here, we need to get the JSON stuff. Yes, indeed. Not URL. We need Dex URL. Okay. And then now finally we go here. We'll get a big list. Dang it. On data. Oh my God. That is a lot of information. So I went way too high. Okay. So this is flavor. Oh, it's not flavors, it's flavor. That was my problem. There we go. So now, oops, scroll here. I don't think that works. Clear? No. Oh well. Okay, so now we see this. So yeah, it's just a list of a whole bunch of every single text entry for every single game, but also for every single language, right? So we, first things first, we need to remove all the languages that we don't need, right? So we're just going to get the English ones. Okay. And then the way we're going to do this is a bit complicated. So we're going to say English. I'll just make this word easy to read. English data. So we'll say honestly, if you can't follow this particular part, don't worry, because this is a bit complicated. So just, you know, join us for the ride for this particular one. So if I went here, I just need to check one thing. And then from here, I can do language, right? Okay. And then from here, I need name. Okay. Okay, so for any individual entry in this giant list, all we need to do is find the language and the name. Okay, so what we can do is if we take this, we go like this, and then we make one small change. Wait, actually, this makes even easier. Hold up. Yeah, there we go. So we do for x in, and then bracket. There we go. We should get a list of every language that we see. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, if it's not English, we don't need it. Right? Okay. So the way we're going to do that is like this. So let's start simple. And we say, if it is English, just say true. If it's not, say false. Okay. So we're going to do this. And we see true and false. So now we're going to make a slight adjustment again. We say if, we grab this. Oops. Paste it here. And then what we really want is we want the full text entry for anyone that meets that property. And you'll definitely made a mistake. Hold up. Hold up. What we'll do is make things something easier. Let's just do this real quick to make sure I know what happened. Wait, what? That's not what I was expecting to see. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay, that was fine. I actually just typed the wrong thing. Okay, so this is what we want. So what we see now is if we let's store this into a better location. So if we say go to the very beginning and we say test, we have test or len. So how big is test? Test is 28, and then if we go in here, if we go in here, we should see 1, 2. This actually let me go to a Pokemon that is not going to have a lot of entries actually. Like Mew is 150, right? No. What's Mew? Hold on. Do a quick test. Mew is 151. I thought Mewtwo was 150. Okay. Okay, so 151, we have Mew. So Mew is in my guess is not going to be in a ton of. Apparently, I was completely wrong. Score Bunny is definitely only in 1, right? So Score Bunny, this will make our lives a bit easier. So we can see this one's doesn't matter, not in our language, not in our language. Not in our language, not in our language, not in our language. In English. So there's 1 in English. And then presumably there's 2, 1 for shield and 1 for, yep, here's the other one. This is the one for shield. The other one was for sword. So we did this again. And let's, for the Pokemon, okay, Pokemon equals Score Bunny. And this is just to show you what's happening. We can do this. There we go. And then go here. And then test. Oh, we can do test. and it'll give us just the two. What? Wait, what? Hold on. What did I do wrong? Oh, I'm dumb. My bad. I forgot to update the URL. Okay. Now, if we did test, we can see there's exactly, let me scroll this up. There's exactly 2 entries. There's one for sword and one for shield. Excellent. Okay. Sorry for the confusion. Messed it up earlier, but everything's okay. So now we get, is our trick to get only the English information that we care about. Right? We don't care about French or any of the other languages, right? We only care about English coming through. And then now from here, we have a list of all of the Pokedex entry text, and that's what we're going to use. So you'll notice that we have a bunch. What we need is to import, I think it's random, or is it math? Python random int. Random library. Yep. Rand range. Wait, random range. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Perfect. So we can import random, and then we import random. So if we do random 9, I guess it does need a 0. We'll get a random integer between 0 and 9, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to use this random integer. Okay. We're running slightly low on time, which is unfortunate because I wanted to implement shinies on the other one. But maybe, oh, you know what? We could do that real quick. We could do that real quick. Yes, we could do that. Okay, so we have this random number, right? So if we do this random number, we need it to match the length of this. So we're going to say len of English data. So this is how long is the English data. And we're going to say, grab this part. Everything else is exactly the same. And this part. So this is going to give us a random number between those values. And then we're going to take that random number. And then, just like this. Oops. Never ran this line. There we go. And this is going to give us a random entry. In this case, it won't be super interesting because there's only 2, so it's likely to be the same one multiple times. But it won't always be the case, right? Especially if we're using a Pokemon that has a lot of entries, like Pikachu is like in every single game, so it'll most commonly be different. Okay, so that's the next step. Then we're going to use the same idea to say up here, to say if, and we're going to do a random number between 0 and, there we go, between 0 and 40. And 40 because that's the amount of times that to get the probability of getting a shiny. So if that is equal to 40, then we're going to use a slightly different shiny. We're going to use the shiny one. So let's go here. Let's go here. And then Pokemon, instead of Mew, let's do Bulbasaur. And we can see, not here, sprites that, shiny. Here it is. Here's the shiny. Oh, that's so tiny. Here it goes. Here's the shiny. So like the idea is that, oh, if the only oh, interesting. Yeah, the idea is like if you get this random number, we're gonna give it the shiny sprite instead of the regular sprite. So this, say this guy. Whoops. We're gonna do some fancy stuff here. Give it shiny URL, but only if you can. Okay. So that's what's gonna happen there, and I won't do that part because I'll do that off screen. Okay. English random. Okay. We have our entry, but it's way too much information than we need. So we first need to select out just the thing we care about. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to say Dex entry. Okay. Oh, you're still live. I am. We're almost done. Gel, you're going to really like this, so I will show you in just a second. Dex. So we have entry, comma, game. And this is going to be here, here, and then comma, oops, here. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I realized the time and I wanted to get a little bit further than I was right now, so I'm speeding. Okay. Here we are. So if I exit now, if we do this, image URL, online 22. Number. Oh. I just need to do this. Pass. There we go. Okay. So, Gel, here's what we had. I had to do some homework after work, so I figured you'd be done. Well, let's show you what we were able to work on. So we have this. Yeah. I mean, this you can see more or less of what we ended up with. So we have on here, it's a giant list of every single Pokemon, right? And then as we're in here, if we want to type, we can type like PI, right? We'll start getting anything in here that has PI in it. So we have Pidgeotto, Caterpie because the PI is at the end, Pidgeotto, Pikachu, all of this stuff, right? And then we can slowly enter whatever we want. But if we see it at this point, all we can do is we just type the Pikachu and bada bing, bada boom. We have the Pikachu. We have the Pikachu stats here, just like this. And that's where we are right now. So what the last step that we're going to do is we're going to actually add the like text to speech stuff. So that's the last stuff. I'm not going to lie. I don't think we're going to make it, but we'll get very, very close. Like I have we already have the text, but adding the text to speech is kind of non-trivial. So we might not finish. Okay. Okay. So we have in here, we go back up here. We were just looking and we saw we have the actual a randomized version of the actual how do you say the actual Pokedex entry, and then we can also get the name of what game is this coming from. So we're gonna go back to our main. We're gonna add a new column. So this is gonna be let's make this a lot smaller. I'm glad you find it interesting, Joe. We're gonna go here. We're just gonna copy this because it's a very similar layout. And move this back. And this is not first column, but now this is third column. So the third column is going to end up, you know what? I just realized I never checked. Oops. I never checked if this can have a video. It's probably a good thing to check. Yeah. Oh, snap. Well, that definitely is going to answer that question. This thing cannot easily do videos, which is perfectly fine. As I said at the very beginning of everything, it's like this version we use this version not because it's the best version to make a little app, but because it's the easiest to do very quickly, right? So like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna finish this up after the stream and fix it over the next couple weeks, so it'll be fully functional once, after I have some more time to work on it. I will not be streaming, as a reminder, for a couple weeks, but yeah. Okay, with that out of the way, now we will do this. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna say at the very top, you know what? We can easily add this to not a third column. Let's make it in the same column, because now that we don't have to deal with that extra piece, it'll be fine. Yeah. So let's do that. So we'll need, what, 2 more pieces of information. One for the actual text entry and one for the game. Okay. So remove third column. And then we're going to make another one of these guys. Wait, what? Don't know why that's so far over. Okay. And then here we're going to say sg.text. And this is going to say we can copy this structure just like we had for everything else, and this is going to be game and game. Okay. Pokedex video. We're also going to be down here. We're going to grab Pokedex video. Grab the exact same thing, just like we did before, except we're going to call this, instead of Pokedata, we're going to say Dex data. Oops. Going back, return. Hold on, let me check something. Hi Python. Def test. Return 1,2, and then a equals test a. It's a tuple, not a dictionary. Okay, so then we want this dictionary where it's going to say entry. We're going to say not this, entry. Sorry, Jell, I saw. Will you still be on Discord? I'll have access to it. Yeah, I don't know. Jell, you're up so late. I don't know that I'll be joining very much, like on gaming and stuff, but I'll have access to Discord for sure. LOL. Entry, and that's gonna be the entry, and then we're gonna have game. That's gonna be the game. Okay. And then so now we have dex data. Boom. Oops. Copy. And then the first one is gonna be game. Oop. It's gonna be game. I had work. Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is the game, and then we're gonna have one more, but this one's gonna be pretty long. and this is gonna be not game, but then entry or info. We'll say info, and then this is gonna be info and info, and then this one is going to be. Do I want this? Probably not. Let's do. Does it have a multi-line? It does have a multi-line. So let's call multi-line instead. Size, let's leave size blank and see what we get just by default. What's work? IDK her. Let's do that. And then we're gonna have info. Info is going to be from dex data as oops, copy. Dex data as well. And this is gonna be, how do we call it? Entry. Entry. I think I spelled that wrong. Yep. Entry. Okay. Okay, so good news is that I did more editing. The bad news is I haven't uploaded the gameplay yet. Well, you can do that right now, and it'll be done by the time that I get to it, I'm sure. Oh, right here. Okay, so now, sorry, the last bit of this was rushed a bit. I just wanted to really, oops. This is the game. And then, so I needed close, oops, comma, open. And then this can be a comma. Okay. So then, right now, I don't want this to be on the exact same line. So we're going to make it a new line. And then I already turned off my, we'll turn it back on. There we go. Okay. So if we did this properly, I should be able to click on this. And then we get a random entry just like this. It's from Pokemon Yellow, and it can go for days without eating a single morsel. Hold on. Let's make this a bit bigger. So it's okay. This is why you want the size function. Got it. But let's compare to the Pokemon Yellow entry for this. Oops. Actually, I have a prettier way of looking at this. On EVNet. And then Pokedex National. There you go. This is just a much easier way to look at this. So for Pokemon Yellow, it's supposed to say it can go for days without eating a single morsel. In the bulb on its back, it stores energy. So it can go for days without eating a single morsel. In the bulb on its back, it stores energy. We did it just like that. We have added the Pokedex entry as well. For those who are following at home, the last step is to make it say the thing out loud. Let's see. The app I don't think is technically allowed. The app doesn't allow for this. But you can kind of hack it. So we might be able to do this in a couple seconds. Yeah, if I don't explain it, I can definitely do this in a couple seconds. Hold on. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Google. Google text to speech. Yes. So Google has a text to speech client that they have opened up that uses their actual Google AI. So conda install GTS. And this is what I use to make everything. This is the main, one of the main drivers that helps make, oh no. Current channels. No, okay. Hold on. Let's do conda install. There it is. Okay, apparently it's this. There we go. Instructions unclear. I now have a live Pikachu in my room. Okay, guess we're doing pip install. Pip install GTDS, which is fine. Script is installed in, not on path considering. Oh, he prefer just press this warning. Okay. IPython, hold on. Import GTDS. Yeah, what the? Hold on. Not this. Wrong guy. I meant this. Aha. Had the wrong capitalization. Okay. Now, so we'll do this just as a quick little test, and you can see the way it works. So now we have this hello MP3 file. Oh, I need, let's do start. So we have this hello MP3 file. If I double click this and open in VLC media player,
Hello.
you can hear that. It's not super loud because I have that quiet. So let's try this again.
Hello.
There you go. You can probably hear that a bit better. So that is how the process works. So basically all we need to do is to say, where is it? Here we go. We grab this. Boom. Step number, whoops, it's in the wrong spot. We're going to put this in this guy actually. And then we are going to say number 2 is boom. And then we're going to say the entry just gets made into a text to speech. Very simple. And then we save that text to speech. And this is going to be called Pokedex. Okay. And then finally, I don't want to search. I think I can exit this way. Yeah. Exit. Okay. Now finally, if I do this, what we'll see, where is my, I closed it. Oh well. So if I clicked on Bulbasaur, for example, we have right here is the name. A strange seed was planted on the back at birth. The plant sprouts and grows grows with this Pokemon. This is from the game X, Pokemon X. And you can see over here, you also see that we have Pokedex.mp3 that was created. Hold on, let me add a new one. Let me say start here. And then if we open up this, I'm going to make my volume pretty loud so you can all hear. And then this is what we'll get.
Entry.
God. Whoops. Hold on. I made a mistake. Not entry. That's my mistake. I meant this. There we go. So let's go back here. Go here. Close this. Run it again. And click on Bulbasaur, which is the seed. This is from Pokemon Gold. The seed on its back is filled with nutrients. The seed grows steadily larger as its body grows. Okay. So if we go to that, we should be able to hear the exact same thing I just said.
The seed on its back is filled with nutrients. The seed grows steadily larger as its body grows.
Booyah. And that is how the Pokedex works. The thing that you see when you hear it on my end That's just some filters that I have that I apply on OBS to this file to make it sound more robotic and stuff. You can also change things in the settings. You can change things to make it so the voice is slower or faster, which I do believe I make it slower in the version I use for stream. And then the last little piece of like magic is I have that sound effect that comes on, and then the Pokedex thing, and that's really honestly pretty easy, relatively speaking, to put together, right? That's just like finishing touches that anyone can do, because that does not require any coding. I didn't code any of that at all I did is I made a scene with some Pokemon forest in the background, and then I on top of that I put just a standard image of a Pokedex. I put the picture, this picture that we get from the internet already, and we got the code to do that. This picture, as if you remember, we go here, we have the Pokedex PNG right here. This Pokedex PNG, I did not mean to do that. I forgot about that property. Okay, this Pokedex PNG, if I can get everything back, the Pokedex PNG is what I use in the Pokedex entry. So when you put it all together, it looks something like this, right? And then the entry, I have it automatically playing when I go where the code is structured such that it automatically plays that audio as well. So that's it. The last part of this was pretty quick. Somewhat sorry about that, but I think hopefully you all enjoyed it. I think it was pretty fun to go through this, and if you guys like it as much as I thought you did, then we'll continue to do more things like this in the future. And if not, I guess this will be a one-time thing and we'll never do it again. But yeah, there's a lot of other coding projects that I'm planning to do for the stream, and this for me, even if you really, unless you hated it, I might keep doing it, mostly because it's a way to force me to do some of these projects that I need to do. So yeah, let's take a look of everything that we needed to do. So we have what, 42 lines of code here, which we didn't write. This one I had written before everything started. The actual app is 107 lines, but a lot of that is like spacing to make things easier to view. Okay. And then the guy that's doing the heavy lifting, that's getting all the data and stuff, that's only 50 lines of code. So what, 100? This together is about 100. So like 200 lines of code, and we made a Pokedex. And not only did we make a Pokedex, I don't know what I just did there. Not only did we make a Pokedex, but we also made it so it will automatically allow you to do any random Pokemon. We have a search functionality. Oops. Right. Mewtwo. Right. We have Pika. We have all kinds of stuff. Score Bunny. All kinds of stuff that you can access. And this is, oh, interesting. We got the one from Let's Go Eevee. So yeah, hopefully you like that. And yeah, I will be probably making a website in the next couple of months. Hopefully the plan is, yeah, in the next couple of months I'll make a website, and then the actual exe file will be on that website, and anyone can download it and have it working. And at that point, what will happen is there'll be a video accompanying it of how to make it, how to make your stream automatically run it right from the get-go. So yeah, that's the setup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for sticking around, and for checking out my first ever YouTube stream. I had a lot of fun. This was like a side of like things that I enjoyed doing that I haven't had a chance to share with you all. So I think it's nice. But until next time, I will see ya. You will not. Okay.